there, guys. This is Solid Shepard bringing you another video. And today, Bethesda, of all people, dropped some big news. As you can see on the screen here, a new Indiana Jones video game was just announced. But there's a catch. We're going to check out this article from Forbes you just saw before I just started talking just now. The trailer itself. So we'll go ahead and look at that. We'll go ahead and look at what is going on here. Now the trailer itself didn't seem to have that much. It was just like a book opening up. It was like, hey, here's Indiana Jones. So I figured we go ahead and see this article from Forbes from one Eric Kane. And before we continue past that, I do just want to apologize for the microphone. Anyone who's been on the channel for longer would know that, and for the last video too. I did what I could in the last video with Audacity, but there's only so much I can do with $100 headset microphone. I'm trying to. I have a better setup, but I'm on the road because of work and all that, so I don't have my stuff with me. It's back home, so I'm looking at probably trying to order a Blue Yeti since I'm starting to do videos again to get better audio and all that. Maybe look into a camera, but just bear with me until then. I'm doing the best I can. So, anyways, a new Indiana Jones video game was just announced, but there's a catch from Eric Kane. So you got a picture of little Indiana Jones there. Bethesda and Lucas Games dropped a surprise announcement Tuesday. Announcement Tuesday. A brand new Indiana Jones game is in the works. So it's from Bethesda and Lucasfilm Games. Interesting. It's being developed by Machine Games. Okay, so it's being developed by Machine Games, the studio behind the popular rebooted Wolfenstein franchise. So this is for more of the first-person shooter part of Bethesda, and not like the Elder Scrolls and Fallout and all that. So it'll probably be a first-person game. It's also the first game announced under the new Lucasfilm Games banner. That's right, because Lucasfilms, I believe, hasn't really been around. I believe they're just kind of bringing it back. I don't think they've done much. There's a whole story of Knights of the Old Republic, how there was supposed to be of the Old Republic 3, but that ended up falling through. And I know Lucasfilms had some financial problems after that. So I think this is a new entity. It's not the same. I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that. You know what? We'll click this link right here after we're done looking at this because it's a pretty short article, just to confirm that. When Disney and Lucasfilm revealed the newly minted Lucasfilms games, they did so via StarWars.com. So it comes as a bit of a surprise that the first revealed title is Indiana Jones. This makes me think we could also see a new Willow video game down the road, since we're getting a new Willow TV show on Disney Plus. Completely unrelated. I don't even know what Willow is. I might be a normie for that, but yeah, really don't care. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys heard that. Someone just sent me a message on my phone and it vibrated. Whatever the case, a new Indiana Jones game is certainly great news. Better news than another movie in the series. I love Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford, but he's no spring chicken. Well, he doesn't really have to be a spring chicken. It's a video game. Just get some young guy to do all the mocap stuff, and just he literally just has to supply his facial acting and his voice acting if they decided to use Harrison Ford. But you know, here's a teaser video. I already showed you guys that as the video is coming in, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that. But yeah, here's the books I was talking about. A little coffee there. I'm sure there's probably some hints for people who know deep Indiana Jones lore. I'm not as caught up on Indiana Jones type stuff, so it's just, this was the news of the day basically for video games, so here we are. In a follow-up tweet, Bethesda writes, a new Indiana Jones game with an original story is in development from our studio, Machine Games, and will be executive produced by Todd Howard. Really? That's weird. Todd Howard's going to be executive producing it. That's interesting. I wonder what. Hmm. Sorry, I just touched the microphone. That is really weird because usually he just does like the Starfield, the Fallout, and the Elder Scroll stuff. And sorry, I'm moving around a lot here. I swear I don't have Parkinson's. I'm just just moving around. Nervous jitters, I guess. I don't know. But Todd Howard. So it's being developed by Machine Games. Does Todd Howard? I don't think Todd Howard usually has anything to do with like the Doom franchise and Wolfensteins and all that. Like they're usually separate. But Microsoft does own them now. So maybe they're just like, Todd, you're going to be in charge of everything. I don't know. It's interesting. That's actually probably the biggest information I've seen so far here. In collaboration English with Lucasfilm Games. It'll be some time before we have more to reveal because there really wasn't really much here. But we're very excited to share today's news. A warning about Cyberpunk 2077 reviews. Might have to check that out next time. Who knows? Probably not. This is exciting news, but could be bittersweet for some fans. Microsoft recently acquired Bethesda, so that's the catch thing this article was talking about. Parent company ZeniMax and all its studios, including Machine Games. This means that a new Indiana Jones game could be exclusive to the Xbox Series X and Windows 10. I almost guarantee it will. I don't think that Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive to the Xbox and Windows PC. I think that this will, though. The reason why is because there's just such a big established market fan base on PlayStation, right? So I don't think that because that'd just be lost money, and plus, it'd just be too good to have a PlayStation 5 game that says it's made by Microsoft. That's just too good. Like, every Sony pony who who buys the game is going to be supporting Xbox. That's a meme in itself. For anyone who's new to the channel, I'm not just hating. I have a Series X now, but I had a PS4 last generation, never had an Xbox One. I love my gaming PC, even though, like I said, I'm on the road, so I'm making do with a laptop. Um, so I'm using my consoles more. But, you know, I'm not a fanboy. I don't have a problem with people who happen to game on a certain platform. I just like making fun of the hardcore fanboys defending my box. It's fun sometimes. Let's not be toxic. Let's all have fun. Anyways, yeah. So this means that the Indiana Jones game could be exclusive to Xbox Series X and Windows 10. I think it will be. I don't think Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I don't think those are going to be, and Starfield might not be because they probably already had some deals with PlayStation before Xbox bought them. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I'm just assuming they would have because Starfield's been rumored, has been worked on for a while now. But a game like this that's new from a Microsoft-owned company, I'd be very surprised if the Indiana Jones game was on PlayStation at all. It's entirely possible that Microsoft and Bethesda will decide to offer the game on as many platforms as possible. I doubt it, to drive more software sales. It's also possible that they'll reserve this for Xbox and PC. More likely, exclusives drive hardware sales, after all, and Microsoft has had a concerted effort to ramp up its production of exclusives in recent years. With the $7.5 billion acquisition of Bethesda, the most expensive move so far, then again, Microsoft acquired Minecraft several years ago and has continued to offer that on as many platforms as possible. Like I said, Minecraft, much like Elder Scrolls, like I said, it was a very established fandom with a very established install base. It was to the point where they'd lose too much money not to sell the PlayStation gamers, right? But just like Elder Scrolls, just like Fallout, and maybe Starfield will be on it just because there might be a current like contract already set up. But there is nothing already set up. I don't see Starfield being on PlayStation either. Like it's all going to depend whether Bethesda already had an agreement with Sony or not. But yeah, Minecraft just like that. but we're talking about a new IP. There hasn't been an Indiana Jones game, not counting Uncharted, since like the SNES, I think. It's been a long time, like retro games. Maybe there was one on PlayStation 2, like an obscure Indiana Jones game I'm just not thinking of. Okay. Anyway, okay, yeah, here we are. Also possible that they'll reserve this Xbox and PC exclusives, drive hardware sales. Somewhat true. After all, and Microsoft has had a concerted effort to ramp up its production of exclusives in recent years with the $7.5 billion acquisition of Bethesda, the most expensive. I already read that. I already read that. I am sorry. That is my bad. One other thing I'd like to say, I definitely don't cheer for exclusives. I think gamers should be able to play whatever games. Like, I like the fact that gamers have access to games. But from a business perspective, it is kind of right though. Like, if there's something you can only get on your box, I would rather the boxes themselves, the hardware themselves, be what sells them and like what they offer. Like how Xbox has Game Pass. The best deal in gaming. Like that's something unique that they offer. That's more than just the games because you could, in a perfect world, like you would still be able to play all the games. It would still be have access. It's just you might have a better deal on Xbox. You might go with Xbox, or Sony might have better hardware. I know that's not the case. I'm just saying, like in a theoretical example, Sony might have better hardware, so you value that over a better deal. Like stuff like that should sell it. Not let me hold this game hostage so gamers. There will be entire groups of gamers who can't play. I just think that's kind of poopy because we can't cuss on YouTube anymore. It's kind of poopy. The new Indiana Jones game will come to Xbox Game Pass, of course, at launch. When the game launches remains a mystery. Yeah, because we don't know much yet. It's probably just like Starfield. Probably gonna expect to see it in like 8 years from now. I'm over exaggerating there, but it's probably gonna be at least like 3 or 4 years before we see this game in our hands. All I know is that I can't even remember the last time I played an Indiana Jones game. Like I was saying earlier, that wasn't called Uncharted or Tomb Raider. I swear to God, I did not read this article before we started. I swear to God. Hopefully, it's as good as the games in those series. It's just obvious. Uncharted is so okay. Like yeah, Uncharted and Tomb Raider are just so obviously inspired from Indiana Jones. Like Tomb Raider was inspired from Indiana Jones, and Uncharted was inspired by Tomb Raider. So yeah, I did want to go and check the new Lucasfilms games banner to confirm that from earlier. Same guy wrote it. Disney and Lucasfilms have announced new branding for all future Star Wars games. Okay. Lucasfilms games will now act as an umbrella of sorts for all Star Wars games, past, present, and future. The branding will appear on all games, regardless of developer. It is not replacing any current developer, so it's a new one. However, EA and its studios will continue making and hopefully not canceling future Star Wars. Hopefully not canceling. Oh, that fills me with confidence. I don't trust you, EA. Future Star Wars video games. Respawn will still hopefully continue the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order franchise. Unfortunately, the announcement did not include any news on upcoming titles. Blah blah blah. Lucasfilms. That's their talking about their Twitter and Facebook accounts. Lucasfilm's legacy in gaming stretches back decades. Yeah. And with the Lucasfilm and the galaxy far, far away entering a new and unprecedented phase of creativity, so will the world of Lucasfilm's games, developed in collaboration with the finest studios across the industry. So yeah, it almost seems like when they got, since George Lucas, I know he was rumored to be coming back, Disney bringing him back into the fold. I don't know if that's been substantiated since I heard those rumors or not, but if that is the case, this is probably why. Like he's coming back. He wants Lucasfilms to come back. He was very interested in. George Lucas always loved the extended universe of Star Wars, so Disney kind of came out and like, oh, that's all not canon. But I think George Lucas is kind of trying to bring some of that. I mean, Lucasfilms is how we got Knights of the Old Republic. You know, Many consider one of the greatest RPGs, definitely the greatest one of the greatest Star Wars games ever. The only other one I can really think of that would compete for it is the original Battlefront 2 on PlayStation 2, and maybe Jedi Fallen Order. That's about it. StarWars.com is thrilled to reveal that Lucasfilm's Games is now the official identity for all gaming titles from Lucasfilm, which it used to be that. Like I said, I think the original Lucasfilm's game studios went out of business, or they folded in some way, shape, or form. Because I do remember reading or watching a video about what happened with KOTOR 3, Knights of the Old Republic 3, and like basically Knights of the Old Republic 2 like didn't do as well. There was some management issues, blah blah blah, and then they just kind of went away. And I think this is probably like it's not the old Lucasfilms gaming studio. Like it's a different one. I bet you I just went on that rant, and this article probably answers the question. It's thrilled to reveal that the Lucasfilm Games is now official identity of all gaming. Okay, I read that. A name that encompasses the company's rich catalog of video games and its eye toward the future. To mark this new era, Lucasfilm Games has launched social channels. So these are the social channels, which will deliver breaking news and more directly to fans. You can watch a special sizzle reel celebrating the history of games from Lucasfilm below. Well, I assume that includes, obviously, the old Lucasfilm, since the new one hasn't done anything yet. The Lucasfilm Games logo featured above will appear in all future game titles. And yeah, that I mean it's the same it's the same logo, I think. I don't think there's any difference from the old one. Like it was I think the old one was green, had like green in it, and this one's all white. That's all I can think of. I like the idea of a new unprecedented phase of creativity when it comes to Star Wars video games. Other than the Battlefront and Respawn Souls-like Jedi Fallen Order, everything that is difficult is called Souls-like nowadays. I'm sorry, that just bothers me. Every game that is hard is not like Dark Souls. Okay. Plus a smattering of mobile titles and Fortnite cameos. Oh, frickin' joy. Sorry. There just haven't been many Star Wars games lately. Lots of cancellations and heartbreak. Very few actual releases. Hopefully that changes. It would be nice to have some games to go with all of these Disney Plus shows. Here's the sizzle reel. Yeah, so they didn't really answer it. But it seems like, yeah, it's a new Lucasfilms. It is not the old Lucasfilms. So yeah, I mean, I think that's about everything. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm sure I'll join the conversation with anyone who decides to comment. Uh, so my thoughts on this, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I love Harrison Ford as an actor. I don't remember the plots of a lot of the Indiana Jones watching it growing up, but I do remember watching it and thinking, he was a bad, bad man. Can't cuss. Almost came out. Almost came out. He's a bad man. Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones was a bad man. I remember that scene with the guy with the gun, or yeah, it was a gun, and then Indiana Jones just. No, it was like, you think that's a knife? This is a knife. It was something like that. I'm sure y'all know what scene I'm talking about. And then Indiana Jones just like shoots him. It's like just walks away. Like I remember stuff like that. Um, So I'm sure it'll be a fun game. Uncharted and Tomb Raider are pretty good, I would say, and they were based off of it. So you would think they could make a good game out of it. I'm surprised it took them this long to try, honestly. Um, so I'm pretty interested in that. It is very interesting that Lucasfilms Games is back. Maybe Knights of the Old Republic 3 eventually? Probably not. But one could only dream. So, anyways, guys, that's my thoughts and opinions on this. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section below, since I apparently don't know how to end this video. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this has been Solid Shepherd, and I should go.